Hey everybody, it's I Want to Be Retro. Today we're going to take a look at installing Umami, a self-hosted Google Analytics alternative, on Windows. To begin, we'll download the latest release of Umami from GitHub. Next we'll download the Node.js installer for Windows. Then we'll download the latest MySQL community server for Windows. And finally, we'll download the Microsoft Visual C++ installer. With all the downloads completed, open your Downloads directory and start the Visual C++ installer. Step through the installer accepting all the defaults. Next, we'll launch the MySQL community server installer. Step through the MySQL installer accepting all the defaults. When prompted, select the typical installation. Once the installation completes, make sure the checkbox for Run MySQL Configurator is checked, then click Finish. Step through MySQL Configurator until you reach the prompt for a root password, then enter and confirm the password and click Next. Continue through the remainder of the options, accepting the defaults. At the final screen, click the Execute button to apply the configuration. Once the execution completes, click Next and then Finish. With MySQL now installed, launch Terminal or a PowerShell window. We'll start by changing directories to the MySQL bin directory, then logging in as the root user. Enter the password you set up in MySQL Configurator earlier. Now using SQL commands, we'll create an Umami database as well as a service account with full permissions to the database. We'll flush MySQL privileges, then close the connection to MySQL and exit the PowerShell window. Back in the Downloads directory, launch the Node.js installer. Step through the installer, accepting all the defaults. Once the installation completes, click Finish. Right-click on the downloaded Umami zip archive and extract it here. Rename the extracted folder to just Umami. Now cut the Umami folder to your clipboard and paste it somewhere it can run from. I'll be creating a folder in my C drive called Apps and pasting the folder there. Navigate inside the Umami folder, then while holding Shift, right-click on the whitespace and select Open PowerShell window here. From the Open PowerShell window, we'll launch Notepad to create a new .env file. Copy the values from the video description and paste them in the Notepad. Then save your changes and close the editor. Back in the PowerShell window, we'll make sure the .env file has the correct name. Then we'll use the npm install command to install the Node.js dependencies for Umami, followed by npm run build to build the Umami application. Once the build completes, we can run Umami using npm start. If prompted, allow Node.js to have network access. Open a web browser and navigate to the DNS or IP address of the host :3000. Log in with the username admin and the password Umami. Click the user icon at the top right of the screen, then Profile. Click the Change Password button. Enter Umami as the current password, then enter and confirm a new password and click Save. Now that we have Umami installed, let's configure it to start with the system. Back in the PowerShell window, press Ctrl+C to kill the running Node.js process. Copy the startup script from the video description and paste it in a new text document. Save the file as umami.bat in the Umami directory. Next, open the Start menu and search for Task Scheduler, then launch it. Select Task Scheduler Library in the left navigation, then right-click and select Create Basic Task. Name the task Umami, then click Next. Select when the computer starts, then click Next. Click Next, then browse to and select the umami.bat file we just created. Click Next, then check the box to open the Properties dialog and click Finish. Click the Change User or Group button, then type System and click OK. Click OK again to close the Properties dialog. Now right-click on the new Umami task and select Run. Back in the web browser, refresh the Umami page to verify that Umami is up and running using the scheduled task. Select Log Out, then log back in using the updated username and password. Welcome to Umami, running on your Windows system.